Watch this video of Travis Decker. There's no audio in the very beginning, and then ultimately we're going to find Travis Decker just did a fender bender. He was the one that was at fault. He didn't have any insurance. The cop does not arrest him. The cop just gives him a ticket. And the guy says, well, if I turn it into my insurance, it'll pay for it, but my premiums will go up. What am I supposed to do with that? So Travis Decker, driving without insurance, the cop does not arrest him. This video isn't going to be released until fucking 2 months later. This shit's gone on for 2 fucking months. Travis Decker could be in goddamn Australia by now. Now I got a couple notes here. TJ Decker, he has 2 autistic kids, his brother. And TJ Decker tried to reach out to Travis Decker because he was having, some issues, and it was saying, they said, well, what can we do for you? But he just wasn't having it. They couldn't reach him. And his brother, TJ Decker, had 2 autistic kids, and apparently they played really well with the 3 kids of Travis Decker's. Now, Travis Decker, if you don't know, is the guy that was accused of killing 3 kids in Washington, had bound and gagged them, had tied them up with zip cords, put a bag over their head, threw them over a damn cliff. They're all like around 10 years old.
What's going on, guys?
This happened at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I was coming down this street here, and it was a full stop. Everybody started rolling, and this gentleman hit me in the back.
Okay. Where did it happen at?
Just right over the side of this right over, coming this way.
Which side of the light did it happen on?
Yeah, the one over there.
So you were stopped over there?
Not this line, but this Shaliner? Yeah, Miller.
Yeah. So you were coming
over where that GMC is.
Okay.
I'm right behind that car, or around the area.
Okay.
The car started rolling. I started rolling, and then with his truck in the back.
Okay. Do you have your license, registration, proof of insurance?
Yep. This is.
So he's got like a little Mustang there. You see his white truck. That's the white truck that they're going to find. The dead bodies of the girls are going to be nearby. I do want to float just a possibility that maybe Travis Decker is innocent, because we haven't even seen evidence that this guy is still alive. And just by watching this video here, he seems pretty calm, cool, collected, right? He did a fender bender. The guy wants to call the law, do the paperwork and stuff. He's sitting right there. So he doesn't run off. He doesn't take off. He's not like, oh, shit, man, I'm up a shit creek without a paddle. I better, do some crazy shit. He just kind of stands there and explains his case, and he was nervous about going to jail, but ultimately the police is like, nah, you're not going to jail.
This is my son's car. He let me borrow it.
And that's interesting. He's borrowing his son's car. So, his son's got insurance, and Travis Decker does not have insurance. I would think that, I don't know. I mean, cops in Washington State, they might not be as fast as Nazi, which, I don't know. In this case, that's a bad thing. But I always thought if you didn't have license, registration, or insurance, you automatically go to jail. You get your fucking shit, towed, and then your life, you sit in jail for 5 fucking years. I mean, you're driving without a license or a registration or without insurance, you get fucking fucked. We have all these rights and stuff from the Bill of Rights, but there's no right to drive. You don't have a right to drive. In America, it kind of feels like you should have a right to drive. Because if you can't drive, how the fuck if you're going to get to any, if you don't live in a city, you have to get to everything by driving. Your food, your job, your, whatever extra, hospital.
Same thing.
I got my license.
What's that?
I got my license.
He's like, I got my license. And the guys, look at him. He's just kind of sitting there all like, calm, cool, collected, just chillaxing. They should have released this video a lot sooner. Because it doesn't just show, his face. It kind of shows his mannerisms, right? Mr. Cool Guy here thinks he's fucking all, fucking Willie Slickback with them, shorts and that bright t-shirt there. Just, he cares about looking, a certain way. He's got a certain image. And then that's a nice fucking white truck. So even if he is, on, having tough times, having to sleep at the armory, And then with the ex, they said he was actually a good sort of parent, absentee, or not absentee, but a good sharing custody parent. He was always on time for things. If he was 5 minutes late, it was like, hey, you know, we're going to be 5 minutes late. Sorry about this. He was like basically on his shit after the court shit came up.
Go to the story. What happened?
Everybody was rolling and everything was going, and all of a sudden I hit him. I don't know how all of a sudden it felt like he was sitting at a stop.
Light was green.
Light was green. All the other cars were rolling. I wasn't on the accelerator. I was still just getting my foot off the brake because I know this light's usually really slow.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we're sitting there.
Okay.
Well, we stopped there, and I asked them to come over here just so we weren't sitting over there.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Can you give your license, registration, insurance?
So my son doesn't have his registration, but he has his paperwork for the vehicle.
Okay.
And registration.
Okay.
Oh, he didn't have his registration in his car, so maybe the other guy should have been arrested. Are you sure that's your son's car? You're saying it's your son's car. Maybe you stole your son's car. You know, I don't know what's going on here. And this guy did have his registration, but he's going to straight up just say, I don't have any insurance. So, you know, they both said the exact same story. They're rolling, you know, everybody's rolling. They're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. There's a slow light, and he hits him in the back. And I can't tell, they blur out the license plate. It doesn't even seem like, I can't even see the fucking damage. What damage is it? Because if somebody just kind of bumps into your fucking car, if there's no fucking damage, you know, like, move the fuck on. Who gives a shit? If, you know, sometimes vehicles, you know, bump into stuff, and they make them, you know, with steel and pretty decent material. So you can bump into something without there being any damage, just a little smudge. You know, here's some shoe polish. I'll just put some shoe polish on it right now, and then we'll get on out of here.
Sorry, Salt Jack.
No big deal.
License.
And then he's got like a little bracelet right there.
Can you text that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your address still good? 705 Riverside? Okay. Where are you at now?
I'm kind of in transit.
Okay. Where do you get mail right now?
I am receiving at the Armory over here in Wenatchee.
Okay. What's the address there now?
1230 5th Street. I'll use my ex-wife's address.
Okay. Alright, perfect. I got it. Alright, I'll be back in a second.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, actually, do you have your license?
Yep.
1K24 Rivercom, vehicle 2 when you're ready. Think that real quick.
So, interesting part there. Sorry about the air conditioning. But, an interesting part there, he was just saying he was in transit. So he's basically homeless, right? Living out of his truck. He's got a nice little truck there. So you probably sleep in the back and, you know, just shower at a truck stop or some place that has showers, maybe like an RV place or some shit. Maybe just take a dip in the damn river. So, he's got a decent truck there. He says that he was staying at the Armory, or he was getting his mail at the Armory, which, is it the Armory just like a big empty building? And there could be a cot, there could be, you know, you could be staying in the closet somewhere, which that's nice of the veteran, you know, association or whatever to do. And then he was saying he was getting his mail at his ex-wife's house, so, you know, that sucks. If it's your ex-wife, you're trying to, you know, she's trying to sever ties, but he's getting mail there, so then that's, he's very much dependent on just getting his mail from, you know, that place. Later on, they tried to investigate, or they tried to interview the guy that had hit him, and he said he didn't want to, like, talk on camera or some shit. Which, that doesn't even make any fucking sense to me. You're not guilty of anything. You got fucking hit by the guy, and maybe if the cop was being, you know, overzealous, he would have been put in jail and then this shit wouldn't have happened. Now, I do have a theory. I'm pretty much 90% sure that Travis Decker has committed the crime. Occam's razor says the simplest explanation, the most obvious, simplest explanation is probably right. But doesn't that say something about America? Isn't that an interesting commentary about America? Oh, shit. Another American man killed his whole family. Killed his kids, fucking zip-tied his kids' arms and put plastic bags over their heads and threw them over a cliff. Well, you know, that's goddamn America. Crazy times, you know. What a crazy... It's kind of fucked up that even the court of public opinion has mostly, 91% is beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'm 90% there. So I just got a smidgen, just a tiny little bit, but there's been no evidence that's been presented that says this guy is even alive. Could it have been the cartel? Could he have crossed somebody else? And they went ahead and killed him, and they killed his children, made it look like him. His dog was running around the damn truck. His bloody handprints are on the back of the truck. His bloody handprints. Why did he get any blood on him? Fighting the kids? He was fighting the kids, and one of them scratched him. The dog had, stood up against him. Why is the dog, if he ran out in the middle of the woods, wouldn't the dog have been with him? Dogs are pretty loyal. They go along with their masters, just sit. He's trained to just sit there and just wait for him. If he's not tied up, that dog is going to follow him. And I don't see a dog with him right now. And I'm kind of curious about where he's going and what he's up to at this point in time. But they should have.
Researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental
They totally should have shown this video.
Doing their teeth in it.
They totally should have shown this video because we get to see his, the way he stands, his mannerisms, his face, his hair, the way he carries himself. You can only get so much information from a person's headshot. Just their face. Their face really tells us nothing. Apparently his kids really love hanging out with him. His kids are like the most polite kids ever.
Driver 1 when you're ready.
She's clear and turn. Go ahead with number 1.
Last of Decker, first of Travis, middle C Charles, 8/15/92.
1926.
Take some pictures real quick. Yep. Go. So exchange of info, there's a case number and everything in case you need to pull any information.
Okay.
Just
He didn't really take a picture of the front of the truck. Might he hit him with the front of the truck and the back of the... It looks like a Mustang to me.
I show that to insurance and everything else on there. You should. Okay. Should I? Take some pictures.
Okay, now he's taking pictures. I stand corrected. Good job.
So it's non-reportable damage. There won't be a report or anything. There is his info. It's got his information, his insurance.
Non-reportable damage? Non-reportable damage. So the damage was so fucking small is insignificant?
Sorry, what?
What you were saying.
Oh, it's non-reportable damage, so I won't be doing like a state accident report or anything on it.
What's the difference? I'm scared.
$1,000. $1,000 of damage causes, triggers what's called a state
So
accident.
it's less than $1,000 a day.
I would think so.
On his vehicle or mine?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so, but that's, I don't know.
Depends on the shop.
It depends on the shop, I'm sure. But so here's your registration back and your license. So we are required, just so you know, you'll probably get a ticket in the mail for having no insurance. So we're required to do that if we respond to an accident.
Am I going to jail tonight?
Oh, no, you won't go to jail for it. That's an infraction. That's not a criminal offense.
If I didn't have a license and I was driving, would I go to jail?
It depends.
I'm just curious. I don't know this stuff. I don't know the
Yeah, well, so it depends. Like, if you don't have it with you, but you have one, is that what you're asking?
No, like, let's say if I don't have a license. Or it's
If you're
expired.
non-licensed, period, then
Or it's expired, or it's...
typically you're not going to go to jail, but you'll get a criminal citation for it with a court date 2 weeks out. It's not something that we would typically take someone to jail for. If it's expired, it's actually not a crime. It's just an infraction.
What happens if it's suspended?
That's a crime. Yeah,
Can you go to jail for that?
you can.
Depending on
It depends on the situation.
life.
Yeah.
What's going on.
Yeah, it also depends. There's 3 degrees of suspended, so it depends on the degree of suspended as well.
Which you got to take it away from.
Yeah, basically.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a better day.
They're all great days.
What's that?
I said they're all great days.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, be safe out
Yeah,
there.
thank you.
Question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, again, this is my son's car, and he's not too happy with me. But, so what do I need to do since he doesn't have insurance?
Your son doesn't have insurance?
No,
Oh, you just report it to your insurance. I mean, it is what it is. So you report that to your insurance, just on what happened, and it is what it is. Like, your insurance should still cover it. Your insurance should still cover that.
okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I don't want my son's premium to go up. So the damage has to be covered by him, correct?
I'm not an insurance company. I can't answer those questions.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, so we'll have to be in touch later. Yeah. You know what's going on.
You alright?
What?
You alright?
Yeah, you alright?
I'm gonna be alright.
Pretty good.
We'll work this out. Alright? Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
So over and all in all, that seemed pretty amicable. He was basically standing there ready to take whatever consequences, came to him. The officer was like, that's less than $1,000 worth of damage. There's like a smudge. You called me out here for a damn smudge, So they blurred out the license plate, and I didn't see, whatever damage was on the front of the truck that there was. So, hindsight's 20/20. It's easy to Monday night quarterback. Yeah, technically, if he would have arrested him then and there, then he wouldn't have, allegedly killed his daughters. I want to float that cartel idea out there just because you got to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt. Typically, he's been, a good father. He's never hit the girls. He's never hit the wife. Not that I had known him. Like I said, I'm pretty much 90% there that he looks like he's guilty. But if he would have crossed somebody in the cartel, he crosses some gangster, and the gangster didn't like what he was doing. Maybe he was out, $1,000, $2,000. Maybe he was buying some cocaine or some meth or some shit, and the cartel didn't like what he was up to, or he crossed them somehow. That would be a hell of a message to kill the kids in front of him, and then to kill him ultimately, and then to hide his body better than the kids' bodies, so then they would presume that it was the father that had killed the kids, and then the cartel gets away with it scot-fucking-free. The guy's very vulnerable. He's in a truck all by himself. He goes to this campsite, that campsite. No telling what kind of crazy fucking lunatics could be out there, out and about. And hell, not only could, not just lunatics out and about, but there could just be lunatics that have a house or some fucking trust fund baby living in daddy's mansion. Got a bunch of free time and don't care about, taking responsibility or accountability for a damn thing, and just goes around being a goddamn asshole to people, knowing that he could just hide in daddy's mansion and daddy will, pay a lawyer for him to get away with whatever crimes. Anyways, I'm saying that a cartel, a criminal, a gangster, any kind of bad person, if they had crossed, that's just so fucking heinous. It's unbelievable. That's a crime against God, against nature. It's a crime against, your own humanity. As a species, we're supposed to want to carry on with our species. And, I've been having sort of a roller coaster life. I got ups and downs. But one thing that I've been sort of fighting for a long time is to be able to have a family. James Joyce said one of the main reasons of life is to do something to outlive it. The point of life is to do something that outlives it. You having children outlives your life. So Travis Decker could have, got killed, and he would have had 3 girls that would have reproduced more Travis Deckers out in the world. So for him to be in a position, because of the court shit got to him. He didn't like having to be, shook up. He's, spiraling downwards, and now he's got to deal with this court shit. He's trying to be a good dad, trying to be a good person. He was, he was in Afghanistan. Apparently, I did read a story about how there was a big fucking bombing in Afghanistan, and like a lot of people died. A lot of people had died in one of the missions that Travis Decker was with, so that's got to be terrifying. You go out there with 100 men, come back with fucking 5. So it's got to make you appreciate life, a lot. But then also, since you're a soldier and a commander or whatever, you can drive tanks and planes and shoot all these guns and do all this crazy shit. So you're like fucking He-Man, Superman, Rambo, warrior out there in the field who could do a whole bunch of shit and then turn around now that you're back in America having to do civilian life. Now it's like people won't even let you drive a damn truck without CDI license. It's like, maybe you could pump gas, maybe you could sweep the floors, but it's like, motherfucker, I was like fucking shooting goddamn grenade launchers and shit. I was fucking AK-47s, tanks and shit. I was doing a whole bunch of like really important, responsible shit. Now you're kind of telling me I can't even do the tiniest bit of shit over here? So it's like a big demotion. It takes away your identity. You're this big all-star G.I. Joe. And then when you're not a part of the military no more, well, now you're just what? Now you're just Joe, right? You ain't G.I. nothing. You're just Joe. So I just want to float that idea. That seems to be like the only other thing that could have happened. It seems like there hasn't been any evidence that he's been alive. Somebody had mistook another person for him, but it wasn't the same one. There was bloody handprints. I would think, did his kids fight back? Maybe that could be possible, but why did he have bloody handprints on the back of his truck? That just sounds crazy, like do you have a picture of it? Did he just press his hands up against it? He choked his daughters, got blood on his hands, and then just put his hands up against it? Was he just opened up the tailgate? Did it look like it was smeared? Did it look like he was shot and killed and then, it was a struggle? Ultimately, I want him caught, and I want some goddamn answers. And it sucks to have to do this goddamn motherfucking appeal shit. Because it's like I just want to goddamn live my motherfucking life. Fired a couple warning shots. The other guy wasn't even fucking injured. This goddamn Colorado nightmare never fucking ends. But if I was free to do what I want to do, it's so fucked up how people would just try to ruin another person's life for some dumb shit. Which is actually the Second Amendment, so I was doing something constitutional. And then other people could do some heinous shit, and they get fucking away with it. Well, we caught you jaywalking, so we're all going to be dicks to you in the court, and we're going to fucking put a ticket on you and treat you like shit and fuck you and fuck your life. So I could see Travis Decker, wanting to get revenge against his ex-wife because of the court shit. I could see that. The divorce, having to get psychiatric treatment. It's like, fuck. I'm barely fucking surviving out here. Now you're gonna, throw me out in the streets and just live in the goddamn jungle and then say good luck? Last thing I want to mention is this Robert William Fisher in 2001. they said he made it look like he was a part of it and the evidence was blown up, but he's going to blow up his house and he's going to kill his wife and 2 kids. In 2002, Robert William Fisher, who was born 1961, was put on the top 10 most wanted list, the FBI's top 10 most wanted list in 2002. But then 19 years later, 2021, he was taken off the most wanted list. He's not even on the most wanted list anymore. So Robert William Fisher had shot his wife in the head, slit his 2 kids' throats, blew up the fucking house. And I'll say this was in Arizona, and they still haven't caught that guy today, even today. A lot of unsolved murders, actually, if you really dig in deep. Just heard about a shooting in Louisville, and it was an old guy at a retirement center. And they said, old guy, retirement center, or old person, shot and killed. We don't have a suspect. Story's over. That's it? That's the whole damn fucking story? You know, I got some suspects. Maybe the cop that fucking investigated is covering the damn shit up. Maybe he's on the take. Maybe it was the damn neighbors. Maybe it was the son. Maybe it was, I got some people of interest, if not outright suspects. But somebody got shot and murdered and they're like, we don't have any suspects. Okay, get a fucking suspect. Get some people of interest, Our cops don't have enough resources. And then I would be a great cop. I'd be a great cop, a great fucking judge, a great goddamn grant writer for, a goddamn school or something. Instead, I gotta fucking deal with this bullshit appeal shit. Meanwhile, Travis Decker looks like killed his own fucking daughters, and he ran off, and he don't have to get treated like shit by a fucking judge. He don't get treated like shit by some fucking DAs. He don't get his, the damn clerk rolling her fucking eyes at you every time you fucking walk in. Oh, you were kidnapped by the cops. Well, we all fuck you the fuck over. We all turn our backs on you, and we all pretend that every arrest a cop make is the best damn thing in the world. That's what we do. You don't care about truth and justice? Nope, we don't give a shit about truth and justice. Cop kidnapped you, we got your body, we rape your body. Open and shut, goddamn, not even a case. Open and shut fucking situation. So Robert William Fisher got away with it. It's been 2 fucking months. Looks like if Travis Decker did do it, looks like he's going to be getting away with it. I'd catch the motherfucker. I'd think I'd still catch him now. I bet he's still out in the fucking goddamn Rocky Mountains in Washington. Hell, he might be in goddamn Oregon or Nevada by now. Or if it was the damn cartel, I'd figure it out. Instead, I gotta keep working on this goddamned appeal. I guess till the cows come home. Are those the cows over there? Oh my God, they've come home.